Hello. My name is Naomi. You can pronounce that however you want to pronounce it. Naomi, Naomi. Like if it sounds pretty close to it, I'll answer to it. Not. I don't have any qualms about it. So welcome to this intro. This is nerve-wracking. Like, I was completely comfortable with this, and I recorded another intro video, but I just watched Lily's social media success video storytelling on YouTube and beyond on Skillshare, and she's intense. She's pretty type A with everything that she does, and I was thinking that the previous introduction was for, this is just what's this called? A chill, like, unscripted. I mean, it still is unscripted, and it's still going to be unedited, but it's something that I don't want to be too intense. Like, it's not something that I'm really keen on monetizing, but also, if you're doing something, why don't you do it well? But also perfectionism, right? Because in that case, I wouldn't be ready to start. I've only had this idea for what? Couple days? Couple weeks? And I don't need to have everything in order to start. One of my best friends, she's probably gonna watch this, she delayed doing something really, really huge because she wanted every single small thing in order, and it was frustrating to me because I was so excited. It was like a huge thing. Once I have her permission, I'm gonna share what exactly it is I'm talking about, and which also brings me to another point. I'm gonna try and make this a space about me, and my experiences and my thoughts and the things that I'm learning. I'm gonna try and not include anyone. Like, I'll talk about things and relationships and how they affected me and like what I got from them. I'm not gonna talk about other people and their business because drink water, mind your own business, girl. Anyway, so a few things about me. Number one, I was born and raised in Nairobi, Kenya. I was born in Nyeri, for the Kenyans who are watching. But like, I was in Nyeri for the first 5 years of my life, so I can claim Nairobi, I think. Anyway, this is so strange. I have to film this vertically. You just saw me adjusting the camera angle. I'm sorry. I'm sitting in front of a closet. As you clearly see, I'm not very prepared for this, and I don't want this to become another thing that I become type A about. And I'm like, I'm not gonna do it until it's perfect, until I have everything in order and I've scripted everything and blah blah blah. I've done the analytics. What are the people who are watching my video like seeing? I mean, those things are good, but my goal for this is to build an authentic community around healing from childhood trauma and doing a lot of personal development, like improving yourself and like doing all the things that you can to make sure you're living your best possible life. And for that, I just want people to come along this journey with me. Mostly, I will share what I'm learning from my healing journey and just slowing down and taking time to process things as they come and like to work things out and journal and feel my feelings and cry if I need to. And I would like to share that because it would make me accountable. Like, I would know that, there's a community of people who are depending on me to give them a video. So I gotta do it, another reason. And another one of my best friends told me I am really good at taking care of like everyone and everything except me. So this is I'm documenting taking care of me. And if it's gonna help some other person, like my Aquarius, my moon in Aquarius means I'm super humanitarian. So there we are. And then the second reason was, I think I talked about both of them. Yeah, number one was to keep myself accountable because I'm recording this, and number two was to help share my journey with someone out there who's like me. It puts me in a very, very unique position because I was born and raised in Kenya, and like a lot of my cultural conditioning comes from my upbringing. But then I came to the United States for college, and I've been here for the past like 4 years, and those were pretty formative years as well, which is why I'm speaking the way I'm speaking. I can't really control it. I'm not gonna try, don't even come at me for my accent, okay? I'm just trying to be authentically myself. No one even cares. Anyway, sorry. It's one of those things that get on my nerves. So yeah, I came here for 4 years for college, and like during that time, like a whole new world was opened up to me. I started going to therapy like a year ago, May 2020, and I was at a really, really bad mental space. And honestly, I went to therapy when I really, really needed it the most, and it saved my life. Like I started with two sessions a week from my like therapist, and she suggested this because I was at that place. But then as time went by, we went to one session per week, and then as time went by, 2-3 weeks. So I'm just saying that I have been in the pits and in the places where you're like, I've hit rock bottom. Like it honestly cannot get worse than this, and it got worse. I'm telling you. This universe is like, I couldn't even believe it. I didn't know there was something below rock bottom. So now I'm too scared to think I'm at rock bottom because I don't want to be surprised again. But yeah, I've been in those places that I'm like laughing about and joking about, but it was a period of like months of not laughing even one time authentically. You can when someone tells a joke and you're trying to be polite, but like months at a time of feeling this huge cloud over me that it's like The Simpsons and the Dome. I don't watch The Simpsons that much, but I've watched that episode. I don't have any context. So I'm inside the dome, and like my joy, like I want to feel joy, I find something really funny, I want to laugh and like to let it out into the atmosphere, but it goes and hits the dome and reflects back down on me. So it's like something is preventing me from like experiencing emotions fully, like being blurred, not even being sad, just feeling apathy, and actually not even knowing how to name the emotions I was experiencing. But thank God for therapy and like the huge progress I have made this past year. So this will also be a space where I'm learning that saying good things about myself isn't bragging. So you might notice a lot more of that of me like complimenting myself. It's also still part of this journey because we need to do a lot of reprogramming and ignite new neural pathways, which is something that we're going to talk about, that I'm going to talk about, and then you're going to listen. I mean, isn't that what you came here to do though? I don't know why I'm doing that. It's 1 a.m. in the morning. Usually I'm a morning person. I don't have energy at this time. Oh, my lips look kind of dry. So yeah, I've told you the reasons. I was explaining what position I'm in. So yeah, and then I graduated from college this past May 2021, and it's currently August 3rd, 2021, and I have not been working. I just got a job offer this past week, so for most of June and July was just a lot of wondering and waiting and anxiety and uncertainty. And I'm also pretty type A with a lot of things about life. I hate not knowing. I love to have plans, it really helps with my anxiety. So it's just been a lot, and I've not seen anyone anywhere online who has the background that I have. Like most of the people who are talking about like healing, like doing inner child work, like healing from trauma, and setting boundaries and all of that stuff. First of all, most of them are white, but I purposely look for the Black women talking about this. Shout out to Therapy for Black Girls. Good. Amazing podcast. Anyway, so yeah, the African American, but like that experience is very distinct from my experience, and I want to like for the I don't think if I hadn't come here, I don't think I would have realized how mentally ill I was, and like that I needed to do the work. Because we don't talk about mental health. Like, I mean, we do talk about it when someone dies by suicide, but that's the only time we do in my culture. And for the longest time ever, I was feeling these things, and I honestly thought that was a normal way of living, like throughout high school, and like completely all like after high school. I was in this patterns that I could not explain. I was aware that I was not completely joyful, and it was really easy for me to get into dark spaces, but I didn't have a name for it. I didn't understand what was going on. It seemed to be very exceptional and like unique to just me. But when I went to therapy, I got diagnoses which were really helpful, because finally there was a name to this thing that I was experiencing, and also there was hope that I would get out of it, because it's a mental illness and you can heal from mental illness. So it gave me hope that if I do the work, I also on medications, and like all of that, I can heal from feeling this apathy that's been a huge part of most of my life, to living life as the best version of myself, which is I honestly don't even know what that means. That's something we're going to talk about. I grew up very codependent. I was like, family dynamics complicated, blended family, but technically I grew up as the oldest child, and that meant I was taking care of everyone but myself, and I didn't feel happy. Like, my joy came from serving other people and protecting people from like bad things and bad emotions, and like making sure that they're having a good time, to the detriment of myself. Like, I forget that I have needs, and like the only needs that matter, the people are like my family's needs and like everyone else's needs but mine, which is not true. And it's something like just honestly, when I first heard the word codependent, I didn't think that it could possibly define me, because I'm like really, really independent, which is also another trauma responsive, like putting up walls. I find it so difficult to rely on anyone. Like, if I can help it, I'm going to avoid the situation where I rely on someone, at least at this point, to do something for me, and only they can do it and not me. Because, man, I mean, I've been let down. Yeah, I mean, that's part of trauma. Yeah, and it just irks me so much when I'm not in control. Which is like hyper independence. Like, when I was moving out of college, like for the very last time I moved out all by myself. It took me a whole day, and I was carrying things that were so heavy. I had to put them down like a fridge every 10 seconds, because I couldn't like walk too far because it was really heavy, and I would have like very easily asked a friend of mine to help me, but my brain was like, oh no, we don't ask for help because that's gonna make us feel like look weak, and what some bullshit. And yeah, like that's one of the things, and I really honestly regretted it, because I ended up like dropping so many things. My phone has a crack for the first time ever. I've never had a cracked phone. It's not a big deal, and it's probably the screen protector, but also it's something that's never usually happened, and I was so fucking tired. Yeah, so many things. I'm like saying big words, and hopefully I'll explore these words more when I sit and I process things. Yeah, I was talking about like alignment. I don't identify as religious right now. I'm non-religious, but I would say that I'm very spiritual. And if I don't process things at this point, if I don't journal specifically, I've been journaling consistently for the past 3 months as well. It feels like this is me, and I need to journal and process things and recount them for me to be in alignment with my higher self. Well, look at me talking about higher self, like the authentic, like I love to feel aligned, but for the most part, I fall into patterns where I'm feeling completely out of line, like, you know, completely off, like I'm a visitor in my own body, and I still don't do anything about it. But oh man. So yeah, I talked about, oh yes, I was diagnosed. My diagnosis was MDD, major depressive disorder, and GAD, general anxiety disorder. Um, which again was a relief to know that there was a name that could be given to this thing that I was experiencing. And then since then, I've also been on like psychiatric medications. I've been on Lexapro, still I am Lexapro, Wellbutrin, Buspirone, and HCl. HCl is like those specific days when I'm like really really anxious, or like I really can't sleep. Yeah, I'm also struggling with insomnia quite a bit, and there's no one on the internet that I have found who has an experience similar to mine. Because part of this journey has also been like me falling out with my parents because they think it's a terrible decision and it's going to make me a drug addict if I keep taking my psychiatric meds, which really doesn't make sense. So I just want this to be a space for someone who's like me, because I know, I mean, at least there's like at least 20 people I know who have similar experiences, you know, growing up in Kenya and then ending up studying abroad and just navigating all of that and realizing that your childhood wasn't as happy as you thought it was. Yeah. So if anything about my meds comes up, I will talk about that as well. I haven't seen a psychiatrist since May. Because I graduated, I was seeing one at school, and I haven't found another one because your girl has not been earning money. You need money, a lot of money, to have to heal from mental illness, which is a problem with society right now. Wow. Crazy that I'm singing and this video might actually make it onto the internet. I'm a very shy singer. Anyway. What else about me is important? I think I mentioned looking for a job. Yes, I did mention I have a job offer. I'm really grateful for that. I'm vegan. I care about the environment a lot. There's a lot of sustainability practices that I've incorporated in my life that could be an idea for a video in the future. But that's the main reason why I don't eat meat or dairy. Number two is animal rights. I don't think we have no right to kill something for food, especially if we can help it. Like, you know, someone's probably thinking right now, oh, but predators like a lion needs to kill like a zebra for food and blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, 100%, that's true. But we have options. The lion doesn't have options. So there's that. And then I really hate plastic straws. I hate those things so much. I'm going to call you out if I see you using a plastic straw. And every time they bring cocktails out, they usually have plastic straws in them as part of the aesthetic. And you're like, I don't want to use this, but also it's going to go in the trash because it's already used. That's like, I used a plastic straw unintentionally. Which I saw a post on Instagram recently that we can't live in this world despising oppression and then like completely avoiding it. It's like a contradiction. I hate like oppression and I would not actively participate in it, but because of how the world is structured, we have no option. It's like the plastic straw thing. Like, come on, dude. And it's not on me. It's just the world that we live in and like how completely normalized that has been. And also I know plastic straws will make a huge difference, but I think it also irks me because it's completely unnecessary unless you have certain disabilities, which I respect that. What else about me? I think that's most of it. Yeah, I'm pretty chill, pretty laid back. I'm very private, so I'm open, but I have trouble being vulnerable. And I'm hoping that this is going to be a space where I can be vulnerable, where I can cry, where I can laugh, where I can like get excited about things that excite me, and where I can, you know, rant about things that annoy me so much, like oppression and climate change. I feel very strongly about a lot of things. Yeah, I feel very strongly about everything. Yeah, if I could, I would do anything to alleviate. Do you know that 1 in 3 kids around the world lives in inadequate housing? Inadequate housing. With a house. That's like the basics. And I have lived life very privileged and not seeing that at all. 1 in 3, that's a really huge percentage, if you ask me. And I'm like, all the kids we see in the developed world, I'm just imagining for each one of them, there's 3 other people in the global south. You know? So, yeah. I honestly don't even know how I ended up talking about that. But yeah, this is going to be a space where I talk about my healing journey, the highlights, the things that are really tough. I'm going to try, like if I'm processing something and I talk to myself a lot, I'm going to try and do it on video. And I have to say that the person who inspired me to do this is Nathaniel Drew from, he has a Skillshare class. I've been watching a lot of Skillshare classes. I like to learn. See, my lips are dry. About the importance of documentation. So I'm like, okay, then I can use this space to document everything with regards to my healing journey and like pursuing my passions and all of that good stuff. I don't know how this will go. I'm actually really surprised. I'd be really surprised, but also really proud of myself if this video makes it onto the internet. But I'm trying not to think too hard about it, you know? But hey, you've learned a lot about me than all my Twitter followers have. Yet I tweet like 5 times every day, and I joined the platform in February. I put so many tweets out. Oh my gosh. And yeah, you've learned more about me than they have, because once again, I seem to be a very private person. I don't think of myself as private or like mysterious, alluring, or like, intimidating. But those words have been used to describe me, and I'm like, what do you mean? Anything you want to know, ask and I'll answer. So, which is also, another thing to put out there if you're watching this, and you have specific questions, or if you want me to go deeper into something that I mentioned in passing, please don't forget to tell me in the comment section. Wow, that feels so weird to say, but I would love to engage with all y'all in like we call comment section, like the most popping place on the internet. I love reading comments on YouTube videos, so I would be so thrilled to read yours. If anyone ever watches this, if only like 2 of my friends watch this, I'd really appreciate if you like just commented on there that you watched it, instead of like telling me, instead of messaging me and telling me. This goodbye has been really, really long. These are my little knees. Okay. Well, I'm glad you listened to me ramble. And goodbye.